Hello. Sometimes it's very difficult to get to sleep. Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. So tonight I wanted to share with you the things I do to get to sleep, and hopefully you can get some sleep too. So, firstly, get yourself nice and comfortable. I've got some comfy things here. I've got a comfy pillow. There's nothing quite like a comfy pillow. And make sure that you're not too hot and not too cold. If you need a blanket, now's the time to grab one. I like a nice, soft, cuddly blanket. Next, make sure it's quiet, but not silent. I like to hear the odd noise going on around me, and you'll also hear the odd noise outside of your windows. And then finally, get the lighting right. I have some candles here and a wax burner, so the room smells lovely too. Let's get those lit. You might hear them crackling away. I can already smell this. It smells lovely. So, are you warm enough? Are you comfortable enough? Is it dark enough? And is it quiet enough? Okay, good. So the first thing I do when I'm ready to relax is take some deep breaths. Have you heard of the 4-7-8 method of breathing? I'll share it with you. What we're going to do is breathe in for the count of 4, hold it in for the count of 7, and breathe out for the count of 8. So once again, we breathe in for the count of 4, we hold for the count of 7, and we breathe out for the count of 8. And we're going to do that 3 times. Are you ready? I'll do it with you. And I'll count on my fingers. So ready? Breathe in. Hold. And breathe out. Ready again? Breathe in. Hold. And breathe out. One more time. Ready? Breathe in. Hold. And breathe out. Wonderful. I always do that right at the beginning of any relaxation ritual. It's very nice to do, and you feel very calm and relaxed afterwards. So the next thing I do when I'm ready to go to sleep is I try my very hardest to relax my muscles from my head down to my feet and the end of my toes. So would you like to do that now? Okay. What we do is we take one part of our body at a time. We clench the muscles up as tightly as we can, and then we relax them. And it's as simple as that. Are you ready? So we're going to start with our face, our eyes, our lips, and especially our jaw. I hold lots of tension in my jaw. I don't know about you. So what we do is we scrunch everything up, squeeze it tight, and then we relax it down. And that is a great feeling too. How does that feel? The next thing we do is our shoulders. Tense those shoulders up. Tense, tense, tense. And then we relax them down. Lots of people carry tension in their shoulders too. And then our arms, upper arms first. Tense them up. Tense them, tense them, tense them. And then relax them. Still awake. Lower arms and hands and fingers. Ready? Tense them up. Tense them up, tense them up. And relax them out. Relax them out. Next, think about your back. Try and tense that back up. All those muscles in your upper and lower back, see how you go. Really tense. And relax them down. Okay. After your back, round to the front of your stomach. Give that a really good tense up. Pull those stomach muscles in tight. Tense, tense, tense. And relax, relax, relax that out. How's that feeling now? Much more relaxed, am I right? Quickly then, your backside is next. You have to tense up that butt. So ready? Tense it up. Tense it up. And relax it down. Ah, just legs and feet to go. So, top of your legs, around the back, hamstrings in your legs. Tense them up. Tense, tense, tense. Getting ready to release and relax them, ready for sleep. All tensed. Then relax. Well done, nearly there. Lower legs next, calves next. Nice and easy to tense those up just by moving your feet. Ready. Tense those calves up. Nice and tight, getting ready for that relaxing feeling in a moment when you release. All tensed. Then relax those calf muscles. Relax, relax, relax. And finally, your feet. Scrunch up those feet and those toes. Scrunch them up as hard as you can. Getting ready for that feeling of relaxation when you let them go. Ready? Ready to relax those feet. Then relax. And that's you done from top to toe. How does it feel now? Does your body feel nice and relaxed and ready for sleep? Often I find that I've fallen asleep before I have chance to tense my toes. So if you're still awake, well done you. The other thing I like to do before bed is to read something. Now, you have to be careful with what you're reading, because anything too exciting or scary will keep you awake, and that defeats the object of reading for sleep. However, I thought I might read to you a little this evening, just to see if it might help you to drop off. I chose a couple of books. This one's quite an old one, but I like the look and feel of this one very much. However, this is the one that I'd like to read from for you this evening. It's called Travels with Charlie by John Steinbeck, and it's the second chapter, and I promise you, nothing happens. It's only about 5 pages, but I thought it might help just to see if reading before bed might help you. This book is about John Steinbeck deciding that he wanted to travel around America and how he went about it and the plans that he made before he started, which is what I'm going to read to you right now. Enjoy it. My plan was clear, concise and reasonable, I think. For many years I have travelled in many parts of the world. In America, I live in New York, or dip into Chicago or San Francisco. But New York is no more America than Paris is France or London is England. Thus, I discovered that I did not know my own country. I, an American writer, writing about America, was working from memory, and the memory is at best a faulty, warpy reservoir. I had not heard the speech of America, smelled the grass and trees and sewage, seen its hills and water, its colour and quality of light. I knew the changes only from books and newspapers. But more than this, I had not felt the country for 25 years. In short, I was writing of something I did not know about, and it seems to me that in a so-called writer this is criminal. My memories were distorted by 25 intervening years. Once I travelled about in an old bakery wagon, double-doored rattler with a mattress on its floor. I stopped where people stopped or gathered. I listened and looked and felt, and in the process had a picture of my country, the accuracy of which was impaired only by my own shortcomings. So it was that I determined to look again, to try to rediscover this monster land. Otherwise, in writing, I could not tell the small diagnostic truths which are the foundations of the larger truth. One sharp difficulty presented itself. In the intervening 25 years, my name had become reasonably well known. And it has been my experience that when people have heard of you, favourably or not, they change. They become, through shyness or the other qualities that publicity inspires, something they are not under ordinary circumstances. This being so, my trip demanded that I leave my name and my identity at home. I had to be peripatetic eyes and ears, a kind of moving gelatin plate. I could not sign hotel registers, meet people I knew, interview others, or even ask searching questions. Furthermore, 2 or more people disturb the ecologic complex of an area. I had to go alone, and I had to be self-contained, a kind of casual turtle, carrying his house on his back. With all this in mind, I wrote to the head office of a great corporation which manufactures trucks. I specified my purpose and my needs. I wanted a 3/4-ton pickup truck, capable of going anywhere under possibly rigorous conditions. And on this truck, I wanted a little house, built like the cabin of a small boat. A trailer is difficult to manoeuvre on mountain roads, and impossible, and often illegal to park, and is subject to many restrictions. In due time, specifications came through for a tough, fast, comfortable vehicle, mounting a camper top, a little house with double bed, a 4-burner stove, a heater, refrigerator, and lights operating on butane, a chemical toilet, closet space, storage space, windows screened against insects, exactly what I wanted. It was delivered in the summer to my little fishing place at Sag Harbour, near the end of Long Island. Although I didn't want to start before Labour Day, when the nation settles back to normal living, I did want to get used to my turtle shell, to equip it and learn it. It arrived in August, a beautiful thing, powerful and yet live. It was almost as easy to handle as a passenger car. And because my planned trip had aroused some satiric remarks among my friends, I named it Rocinante, which you will remember was the name of Don Quixote's horse. Since I made no secret of my project, a number of controversies arose among my friends and advisors. A projected journey spawns advisors in schools. I was told that since my photograph was as widely distributed as my publisher could make it, I would find it impossible to move about without being recognised. Let me say in advance that in over 10,000 miles, in 34 states, I was not recognised even once. I believe that people identify things only in context. Even those people who might have known me against a background I am supposed to have, in no case identified me in my turtle shell. I was advised that the name Rocinante, painted on the side of my truck in 16th century Spanish script, would cause curiosity and inquiry in some places. I do not know how many people recognised the name, but surely no one ever asked about it. Next, I was told that a stranger's purpose in moving about the country might cause inquiry, or even suspicion. For this reason, I racked a shotgun, 2 rifles, and a couple of fishing rods in my truck, for it is my experience that if a man is going hunting or fishing, his purpose is understood and even applauded. Actually, my hunting days are over. I no longer kill or catch anything. I cannot get into a frying pan. I am too old for sport killing. This stage setting turned out to be unnecessary. It was said that my New York license plates would arouse interest, and perhaps questions, since they were the only outward identifying marks I had. And so they did, perhaps 20 or 30 times in the whole trip. But such contacts followed an invariable pattern, somewhat as follows. Local man. New York, huh? Me. Yep. Local man. I was there in 1938. Or was it 1939? Alice, was it 38 or 39 we went to New York? Alice. It was 36. I remember, because it was the year Alfred died. Local man. Anyway, I hated it. Wouldn't live there if you paid me. There was some genuine worry about my travelling alone, open to attack, robbery, assault. It is well known that our roads are dangerous, and here I admit I had senseless qualms. It is some years since I have been alone, nameless, friendless, without any of the safety one gets from family, friends, and accomplices. There is no reality in the danger. It's just very lonely, hopeless feeling at first, a kind of desolate feeling. For this reason, I took one companion on my journey, an old French gentleman poodle known as Charlie. Actually, his name is Charles le Chien. He was born in Bercy, on the outskirts of Paris, and trained in France, and while he knows a little poodle English, he responds quickly, only to commands in French. Otherwise he has to translate, and that slows him down. He is a very big poodle, of a colour called bleu, and he is blue when he is clean. Charlie is a born diplomat. He prefers negotiation to fighting, and properly so, since he is very bad at fighting. Only once in his 10 years has he been in trouble when he met a dog who refused to negotiate. Charlie lost a piece of his right ear that time. But he is a good watchdog, has a roar like a lion, designed to conceal from night-wandering strangers the fact that he couldn't bite his way out of a cornet du papier. He is a good friend and travelling companion, and would rather travel about than anything he can imagine. If he occurs at length in this account, it is because he contributed much to the trip. A dog, particularly an exotic like Charlie, is a bond between strangers. Many conversations en route began with, "What degree of dog is that?" The techniques of opening conversation are universal. I knew long ago, and rediscovered, that the best way to attract attention, help, and conversation is to be lost. A man who, seeing his mother starving to death on a path, kicks her in the stomach to clear the way, will cheerfully devote several hours of his time giving wrong directions to a total stranger who claims to be lost. What do you think? If you want to read more of this one, it's Travels with Charlie by John Steinbeck. In the meantime, I hope this last few minutes has helped to relax you and helps you to drift off to sleep this evening. Night night.